You good, brother?
Is it live right now?
I think so. We'll just refresh here a couple times.
Yeah, it usually takes a couple minutes.
Yeah, you're good.
Check out the audio and see if that...
Audio?
I can do it just like by watching the video, right?
Yeah, this is the secret. You watch that.
And that's good.
As long as it's bouncing like that, we're good.
Okay.
If it goes red, so if people are wearing headphones,
Yeah.
you can bump it down a little so it doesn't, so it's not screaming at them. But that'll be good.
All right, so where do I get the link to send out?
You get it from, I would send it down. So,
Oh, I can do it right from here, right?
yeah, I'd send it from here.
So I just copy this one?
Oh, I can do it right from here. Yeah, I'd send it from here. So I just copy this. Copy the one that has the video.
Is there too much echo, do you think, in the sound?
Copy the one that has the video.
Is there too much echo, do you think? No, that's pretty good, right?
No, I don't know why there's that hum, but.
That's pretty good.
Oh, what I would do is I'd turn your laptop volume off because you don't need to hear it.
Right. Oh, you think that's what the hum is?
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, so yeah, mute that, and then I'll copy it. I can do it. There you go. And then just copy and paste this link.
Sweet. All right, have a good one.
See you, thanks, man.
No problem.
All right, guys, I think we're live here. Gonna be getting going here in a couple minutes, just working out some technical stuff, and then we should be good to go. So the chat is on for you guys who are watching this live. So if something comes up with the audio or anything like that, let me know, and I can that'll help me out, and I can fix it to the best of my capabilities. So about another minute here, and we'll start for you guys who are listening in. All right, guys, it's noontime, so we're gonna get this thing going. Excited to announce our new YouTube page for the MFCA is up and going. This is gonna be the first broadcast on that page. If you wanna see yesterday's kind of first edition of this clinic, you can go to my video production classes Buzz Media YouTube page and watch it there. we'll try to get it transferred over if we can. I'll have to rely on my tech guy who's helping me out a little bit with some of that stuff. But we're excited about this. We were not able, as most of you know, to have our clinic a couple weekends ago, which was pretty disappointing. We had a great lineup of speakers ready to educate us. But we're going to do the next best thing here in these times and try to get as many of these out to you as we can. You know, I am hoping that I can do them from here as long as I can. And I do have some guests lined up that are going to come in and give some other clinics and some other talks. But I think we're in the process in our Buzz Media group of securing a kind of off-site location in case they close our building that we could produce from. And we're going to kind of check that out tomorrow and see if we can set up a studio. And if we get shut down here next week, we're going to slide our equipment over there and be able to have some some other coaches in and do some things that way. You know, so looking good. Mark Soren on the chat, hoping you can hear me good. Mark, just give me a thumbs up if you can, that'd be great. But yeah, either way, we're going to keep bringing these to you guys. Skip Capone's going to be on next week. Tomorrow, I think it's going to be me again. It might get Coach Gray, our defensive ends coach, to come in. We might do a little bit of defensive stuff tomorrow. It'll be the same time. We'll try to go at noon most every day. We'll adjust it if we need to, depending on the availability of the speaker. We may have to go at night sometimes, depending on what their work schedules are like. But yeah, Skip Capone on next week. I think his first one's going to be a special teams talk. It's going to be filled with a lot of good drills and philosophies centered around special teams. So that should looking forward to that. And also going to have Coach talk on a separate day about using compressed formations. So looking forward to that as well. Like I said yesterday, just going to try to get some of the high school coaches that were lined up to speak at the clinic, or really anybody else. If anybody is out there that's interested to come in and do something, we can. I'm kind of increasing my technology use every day. Been learning a lot about Google Meet and Zoom and Hangouts and some of these things. So I'm going to try to get next week Coach Russell, Kennebunk grad, who's coaching at Norwich. Going to try to get him on for kind of a live chat with me. We're going to interview and talk to him a little bit about the college recruiting process, a little bit about Norwich football and what they're doing, and then maybe get into a little bit of an X and O talk with Coach as well. So that'll be cool. Looking forward to that. Today is episode 2. Appreciate the feedback that we got from everybody yesterday on episode 1. I thought it was a pretty good talk on the spread offense. Always good to talk football, even though we're not in the same room. To be able to email back and forth and you know, just exchange some ideas and talk is good stuff. So happy to do this, and you know, I had a great talk with Coach Capone yesterday. Just messaging back and forth about, you know, just growing the game of football in Maine and really trying to, you know, as was done for me at a young age, trying to educate some of the younger coaches coming in, and certainly trying, those of us who have been around a little bit longer, trying to, you know, better ourselves as well. But, you know, the future of the game depends on the guys who are going to be coaching and teaching it. So it's important that, oh, we got a guess. What do you need, Dana? Huh? I am. Yep. What do you need?
Nothing. Well, you're just gonna come in to fix it.
Oh, I'm right in the middle of something now. 1 o'clock? All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. They're gonna fix the heating valve in my room, which makes an annoying knocking sound. But we're on live right now, so hopefully they can come back and check it out at once. So I'll make sure we try to get everything in before then. But like I said, just trying to, you know, get the younger coaches around Maine, you know, pass these links along to your youth coaches, your middle school coaches, your assistant coaches, and we'll just try to do the best we can to keep this thing moving forward. So we're going to do a lot of film today based on what yesterday's talk was about, because we didn't get a chance to do that. So I want to show some of that stuff to you guys that we talked about yesterday, but I did have some questions that got emailed into me. I put my email up here at the top. Michael.Hathaway at msad52.org. So if you have questions or comments or things that you would like to see on on future clinic talks or whatever, please send them along to me, and I'll do the best I can to kind of get those answered or secure a speaker who's an expert there, and we can keep this thing going. So first one I got was about youth football. How much this do we do with our youth football team? And we have tackle football starts in 3rd grade, so 3rd and 4th are combined, 5th and 6th are combined, and then we have a 7th grade team and an 8th grade team. I would say that the majority of our youth teams pretty much start their offense with jet sweep. So the coaches like it. You guys know youth football. Get the ball to the edge, give it to your fastest guy, let him outrun everybody. So they like it. And, we encourage them to go shotgun so that we can find some centers. 3rd and 4th grade, sometimes that's a little difficult. So I wouldn't say all of our 3rd and 4th grade teams run that, but my son was a 3rd grader on a team last year, and we ran basically the first 4 or 5 plays that we put in up here and a couple of passes. So I think if you're whatever you're doing, whether it's spread or wing tee or I formation or whatever, you want to start building that in as soon as you can. This group that we had here this year, those guys, I mean, it probably helped that my son was in that group, but those guys have been running this offense since they were in the 3rd grade. And typically when we first put it in, we start with jet, inside zone, and our counter scheme, which is the backside guard pulling for the defensive end. We kind of put those 3 plays in first, and then we kind of add stretch with the tailback. We add some quarterback counter game. We have a couple of play actions, usually put in our waggle scheme, our thunder and lightning waggle and waggle switch. We have those in, and then you just kind of progress as they go. And then I would say by the time they get to middle school, you're looking at a playbook maybe with 15 to 20 plays in it. And we try to get those pretty good. When they get to the 8th grade, we try to get them to no huddle a little bit and be able to do it from the sideline. And then, when they get to freshmen, that playbook expands to about 20 to 25 plays. And the JV is probably about the same because those guys really don't get much time to work on their own offensive stuff a ton. And then obviously it expands quite a bit when they get to the varsity level. But I think jet sweep translates pretty well to youth football. So that was one. Adjustments versus the wide 9 or the slanting defensive end. Obviously you're not going to get the edge. So when we go, tight end wing, and that guy widens all the way out to the wing, we don't take the call off when we run jet. We still run it, and these guys in there 2 for 2, if that guy's widening, the wing's just going to pick him up, and then the tight end releases inside. So we call our combo blocks 2 for 2, just for terminology's sake. And lots of times that 2 for 2, if the end stays head up on the tight end and they roll up over here with a corner, most of the time it's the wing getting off the block and trying to seal off a scraping backer. But it certainly can work the other way if the end widens and the backer tries to fill, where the tight end does that and the wing does that. And we always spend some time in the preseason, and we'll revisit it, maybe once every other week or so, or depending on how we're doing with it, we'll revisit it in our group period where we take the wings and the tight ends and we combo block. And they just work on those different scenarios. So, Coach Twitchell or Coach County will grab those guys and they'll do it. Does having 2 6'5" tight ends that like to block help run jet sweep? Yeah, it does. You'll see today in the film, number 2 for us, Cole Moore, and senior, Cam Jordan, number 88, senior. Those guys are good. So, when you have good talent, you magically become a good coach. But I would also say their position coaches have coached them up really, really well. But yeah, certainly you got some guys on the edge that like to get after it and are pretty athletic and pretty big. That helps a ton. So, we still will run jet against the wide 9. It just really is designed to run it in an alley that's a little tighter to the inside. And then we'll run our smash scheme. So smash for us is kind of you're going to see it today, is kind of a buck sweep. So they start to widen that end, and we know he's slanting out a lot. We'll, inside release here, okay, and then arc the wing, and then we can either pull front side guard and wrap with the backside guard, or we can just pull the backside guard if we feel like we're getting too many run-throughs on the front side. So that's our adjustment, versus those guys who are real excited about getting out and playing jet sweep. So There's that. Didn't get into the screen game yesterday, and somebody asked, do we have some other plays kind of off the jet sweep that are special plays or whatever. We've run reverses off it. We've run jet pass where that guy throws it. Those are probably the two, trick plays, if you want to call them that, or gadget plays that we've used off from that. In the screen game, lots of times what we will do, especially out of empty, the two that we kind of install first are, if we're bringing a guy in jet motion here, we can either go with a bubble scheme where we just do that, or maybe he cracks it and work that. Cape Elizabeth does a nice job with that stuff too. I think one of them actually snuck into my clips today. We played it pretty well though. And then we call it rocket screen. A lot of guys call it smoke screen or stay screen, where this guy's going to pop back and that guy's going to get out there. So you can do that. And then a couple plays that I hadn't put up yesterday off our play actions. We have Vegas and Fresno. Fresno for us is a bubble with a stutter fade. So we can kind of fake the jet sweep, and then we can fake the screen and try to throw off it, especially if they've rallied up pretty good to stop a screen. Or Vegas for us is to fake the smoke screen and run a wheel with number 2. That's been a pretty good one for us. You get a quicker guy out in the slot, or we like doing it with one of our big guys actually, and throwing it up to them. So those are some of the screens we run. You'll see today I put a couple in the cut-ups, the ones that I could find. When we have the tailback in the backfield, we like to run our joker play quite a bit, where we bring this guy in motion and ISO up this receiver for some sort of route, and then we use a backside tag, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. So we do that, but we also, when we do that, typically the tailback, he'll either, depending on the pass pro, will either block the edge or he'll come up this way. And when we bring him this way, it's pretty easy to slide him and we use the quarterback on a half roll and throw him a slip screen. So I've got a couple in the clips where you can see that today. So that's the screen that we use. And then we also like to use throwback. And you can use throwback really like you would use a waggle type of throwback. Where these guys are running, getting these guys across the field, and you jet sweep guys getting out, and we throw that. I think I've got one of those in the clips today. It was down in the red zone. We completed it either for a 2-point or a touchdown. But you also certainly can, out of the same look, and have this guy, usually on a play action, he'll block the end. So we'll have him kind of crappily block the end, and then bust out quarterback rolls, and you can throw it all the way back. So that's kind of our screen package off from the jet sweep. I wouldn't say that we run them a ton. I think if you're going to be a good screen time, you got to spend a lot of time on screen, and we probably don't spend as much time on that, but it's certainly, from year to year, it's something that we certainly have in there and we'll go to once in a while. I'm not a huge gadget play guy, so we don't run, a lot of that stuff. We'll bust out one every once in a while, and then once we run it, that's kind of it, and we put in a new one. But typically we won't run one every game. So that's that. I guess while I'm on the topic, I'll skip down one and go to backside tags. Somebody asked yesterday, I had mentioned some backside tags and how do we call those and what do we do? So we're kind of a hand signal and board combo type team with our no huddle. So when we signal in a pass play, it's either a mirror with one call. So we might call hippo, which is our smash concept, where we'll run in hitch corner. And if we give a mirror tag with that or the mirror signal, then they know we're running smash on both sides, running hitch corner both sides. But lots of times, like I know when I run smash, I like to also run what we would call Dallas on the back side of it. So we would call hippo to that side, and then we would call our double post to the back side. That way, if the safety's getting over or whatever, if they're too high, you can work off the backside safety. That's been a pretty good one. So, kind of stole that from Coach Coop a couple of years ago, working the main elite camp together. Double post has been really good to us. You're going to see one in there today that we hit pretty big against Cape when we played them. But yeah, we have Dallas that we call, which is double post. Whoops, little spelling error there. Oh, light's going out. Fix that. I guess I got to move more, right? So we got Dallas, which is double post. We'll do that one. We have drive, which we use out of compressed formations, which basically, but my son recommended was a good one off from Madden, where we run the dig with the shallow. That's pretty good on the backside. We have drag, which is usually the one that we put in first. On a drag concept, we run a deep banana. He's kind of working for 12 yards on the other hash. And that guy's running what we call a post-dig choice. So he's playing off the free safety. If he sees the free safety vacate the middle, he's going to post behind him. And if he sees the free safety on a bail, he's going to dig in front of him. And then the quarterback, we work a drill in practice where the quarterback's got to redirect his eyes off the initial read, or we just tell him in 7v7, you can't throw this one on the front side, and they got to work to the back side. Because lots of times in 7-on-7, the front side stuff's open. So you got to tell your quarterback sometimes to do that. Also, we have a quarterback that likes to run around a little bit. So we build a lot of scramble into our team period, our group period. Well, I'll just tell Wyatt before the play, like, hey, nobody's open on this one. Take off and run around. Sometimes nobody's open, and he will. And, we'll run around, and guys will redirect their routes. And so I think it's important that, when you're working in your group period in your 7-on-7, and you're working in your team period, that you make sure your quarterback makes some backside throws so he can work on the technique and getting his eyes to where they need to be, but also that you work on the scramble and work on receivers either coming back to the ball, working down the field, working towards the sideline, and hopefully you can prevent the scrambles where the quarterback's throwing it back across his body. Our guy knows that he don't get dinner when he gets home if he does that. So those are the backside tags that we use most often. I think I put in one today. Wyatt's not going to be happy because it was a pick, but we have a zipper tag where we run a seam with an under, and we had hit the seam all week in practice, and then he decided to throw it even though they double covered it and the under was wide open. But we've got that we can run on the back. It's a little bit like slot fade, but this is a little deeper. This break is at 10 yards because it's a backside route, not a front side route. So that's one of the ones that we use. Again, double slant, Dusty's another one that we have. Sometimes we put that on there, or we can signal it when we get to the line of scrimmage. If the quarterback feels like he's going to get pressure from the weak side, we can run that, and he can just catch and throw. So, a bunch of things you can tag to the back side. So, those taken care of. Matty Bootwell posted up on MBR, so we, there was some guy, one of the guys on there, and Broward handicapper asked a little bit about, does the quarterback decide or the coach decide when you're running the plays where it might be, I think the example he was going to use was inside zone one way, so we would probably do it like this, to be honest, like that. With that, so when the quarterback's making that decision, is it him or are we giving a signal from the sideline or whatever? And it totally depends on your trust factor with the quarterback. It certainly could be signaled from the sideline. You could give a freeze call or something where the offense comes up, they kind of get in the formation, they look over to the sideline, and then you can do it. Or if you have enough trust in your quarterback, you can do that. And we do. He misses some, and you're going to see in the film today some that he misses, but when they miss them, you just got to pat them on the back and say, get the next one. And I liken it to, if you're going to play cover 0 all the time, then once in a while your corner is going to get beat over the top. And when he does, it's, hey, we get the next one because he's going to be out there playing man most of the time. So we understand once in a while they're going to miss them. So if we block well, it should turn out okay. There are times where he'll tell the guys on the field what he's going to do, so that they know, and sometimes they adjust their backside blocking schemes because of it. So they might just nix the play that he cancels out and kills, and that way on the backside they're blocking whatever the front side scheme is, and maybe covering up, maybe trying to cut off a 3-tack or picking up a backside blitz or something like that. So there is that. And also, I mentioned when I posted on MBR, the thing that helps a lot with the teaching of this or the in-game adjustments is the huddle replay on the sideline. When our quarterback isn't a full-time defense guy, he would like to be, but we try to just only really use him when we need to in certain situations or against certain teams that throw the ball a lot. but he's on the sideline a lot in between series. So we can, go on huddle, we can look at the formation, we can look at how the defense aligns, and we can say, look, when we're in this, they line up like this. So when we have this double call going to the line, you should be choosing this, or you chose this one wrong, or hey, you chose this one right. Great job. So that's kind of how we handle that. And then somebody else asked, how do you adjust for the difference, or what do you like for calls with play action versus cover 3 and cover 2? And what I would say is a lot of them work the same because you're reading the safety. Obviously, when it's single high, it's a lot easier, because that guy has more responsibility. So he's deeper, and if he is going to get up on the run, he really has to commit. And you see on film too, like when we play Cape Elizabeth and Matt Laughlin's playing free safety, we know that he's going to get down in the run game. When we played Wells and it's Peyton McKay back there at safety, who was one of the best in the league, we know we probably should have thrown more play action than we did against Wells. We're probably a little too conservative in that game. But the single high, we love to attack the seam, and it's a pretty easy read. If he gets even with the free, we know we can throw it over the top. And if it's too high safety, it's really the same read. The guy is just over it. And lots of times in our play actions here, when we have this look, now we're going to do something probably that breaks out towards the sideline, like our lightning scheme, our waggle switch scheme. And then, we're going to try to do something off the back to occupy that other free safety or make a secondary read for the quarterback that way. Really all of them are on the table. In terms of what we would do. There are, when we run our joker scheme, let's say we're coming back here, it's jet this way, and we're going to ISO this receiver. The quarterback and the receiver have the ability to change the route at the line of scrimmage. You're going to see number 19 a lot on the film today, my nephew, Keegan Melanson. He and Wyatt probably don't even need to signal it. They can probably look at each other, and they've done it so much over the course of their lives, they know the alignment of the corner tells them what the route is. If we get a cover 2 corner, and we'll probably run a corner, but if we get a cover 3 corner, we'll probably run a stick. And if we get something we don't know, then maybe we run a skinny post or a wheel or whatever. Everybody's got their favorites against cover 2, cover 3. I would just say whatever you like to do, build that into your play actions off jet sweep. So those are the questions for today. I want to get to some film. I want to get this thing wrapped up by 1, so that'll give us some time to do that. So bear with me for a minute. I'm going to try to get this done up so that we can watch some film. And just bear with me for a minute. It's going to take me a second to get this thing loaded up and going. But once it is, it should go pretty good, I think. We're going to start with jet sweep, and then we'll kind of work our way through some of the plays off from it as we go. It's kind of the plan. And like some of you guys do, we kind of have a coach who does most of the huddle stuff, so I'll work through this the best I can. I did go and make some notes on the cut-ups last night, so that you guys can see some of the stuff that we want to talk about. Get the filter on here. See if we can get jet sweep up here first. And you won't see me, I'll try to use a laser pointer here. So you won't see me necessarily. You guys are going to see my jumping ability right now because I lost my rope. Really could use my my tech guy in the room while I'm doing this, to be honest. Let's see, and then we'll see if we can full screen that. And then hopefully you guys can see this pretty good at home. All right, now I just got to move the camera. Let me see how this is coming out. It's a little too much zoom. Work this thing through. Feel like that might be good. So, lost my ability to see the chat because I've got my computer hooked up to the to this, so I won't be able to chat with you guys through this. I'll try to work that out so that later on we can. But here's some jet sweep plays. This was the state game against MCI. I thought we did a pretty good job in this game of running some of our jet stuff. They did a pretty good job of taking some of it away too. But this is going to be, you know, we have an H-back back here in the backfield. This is one of our third linemen, one of our third guards. Okay, and in this one, and they played a lot of the tight front against us in this game. 4 eyes with the tackles and a head-up nose. So there were times when we didn't pull both guards. So this was the H-back working with the tight end up top out of trips. Solo tight end trips. Okay, pulling the backside guard, and you can see he's wrapping up through the hole and probably should have blocked number 7 right here. But you can see we do a nice job. If you look at number 2, the solo tight end, he does a nice job of getting on there, and the H-back does a good job of seeing that he's got that guy blocked and then gets out on the rolled up corner. And, you know, had we done a little better job on the safety there, that play probably goes for a little bit more. Okay, this was the regional final against York. Okay, this is an overset. Talked a little bit about formations yesterday. If you look up top, we've just got guard and tackle. We put our tight end, split end on the same side, and then we have the tight wing there, so a good way to not allow them to roll up the corner. They're in a 5-2 here with a rover rolled up on the line of scrimmage and trying to play, I think, 0 out of it. Okay, and you can see on this one, we pull both guards. You can see the backside guard, 58 here. He's just looking to get up in and replace the front side guard. Does a nice job of picking up this backside backer. Okay. And our tailback, this is probably the best blocking game that One's had in his life. He's more of the runner. But you can see he does a nice job here of comboing with 88, with the wingback on the rover. And 2, the tight end, he does a nice job here on the defensive end. And you can see the front side guard, he picks up the run through. 23 is on the run through here, and he picks it. So we got a hat on a hat, and 19 done a little better job on 6 there. You know, he did just enough, but that was a pretty good play for us. I'll show a few of the end zone shots for you guys too. Maybe we'll look at this one from the end zone so you guys can see it this way. Okay, so again, these are all just going to be jet sweeps. You know, one of the moves that we teach with guys, with our center against an odd front is just using a rip move. So he's going to take his right arm and he's going to rip by the nose and not really block him, but just make sure that, you know, obviously if he's on a stunt to the strong side A gap, he's going to stay on him. But if not, he's just going to rip through his front hip and try to pick off the backside backer. And he does a decent job on the rip. Not really a great move afterwards of picking anybody up. He kind of just stopped his feet and didn't really have his eyes in the right place. Okay, and again, you can see, you know, our tailbacks, we spend a lot of time with these guys on the kick-out block, and he does a nice job on the corner here. 88 right here does a nice job on the rover. You know, and you can see this is a pretty wide defensive end for number 2, and we were still able to get the edge. Okay. Oops, I'll show you just because I like to reward these guys. You know, one thing that we block pretty well on the perimeter, and one thing we tell our guys is if you don't block well on the perimeter, you ain't getting the ball. And number 19 is the backside wide out here. Probably by no means has any, anything to do in this play, but when we beat the free and he picks off the backside corner, it turns that play into a touchdown. Okay, and number 9, Damian called. He's going to Maine Maritime. Excited about that. Really good jet sweep guy. Probably as good as anybody we've had. Okay, and here's the big guy on jet. 2-point conversion play right after we scored there. Okay, and you can see number 1 is the tailback. He's the tight wing in this empty set. We're in tight end trips with a slot and a split on the back. He does a nice job. He just punches, realizes that 2's got it, and that's probably the block that makes it happen, is him getting up on the safety. That's a pretty good job there. And you see tailback does a good job on this one of logging the corner when he gets out here. Corner comes inside, so he logs him. We're able to get the edge that way. So that was pretty good. And here it is again. And you can see there's a lot of bodies out there. And that's what we like. The more guys we can pull, the better. Okay, and you can see 75. He's one of the better pulling guards we have had. He hasn't decided what he's doing yet. He's either going to go in the Coast Guard or maybe Maine Maritime or Norwich. And you see number 9 can scoot too. Nice cut. 19 again down the field. Making a block, springs it for the touchdown. That was a big play early in that game to kind of get us going. See, bad snap there. Okay, but we do a pretty good job. See, watch 88 and 2 here on that 2 for 2. They've got the rover in the end. In this case, they jumped into a 40 front here. That's a great job. Obviously, having those 2 guys helps. Not gonna lie. I'll bounce it forward a couple here. Actually, I'll go back one. So we just talked about formations yesterday, and you saw this one before. This is trips with the solo tight end on the back. Okay, and they brought the rover to the tight end side. So the tailback has the rover. It was a pretty good job of getting on there. And 75, the front side guard, he's always looking to get up in the alley, right? So he's up in the alley, does a nice job on the kick out there. And again, just watch number 2 here. And he does a great job of keeping his feet with him and carrying those through the block. And again, like I said yesterday, when you're running jet sweep in your team period, put shields on the defense and tell those guys where it's going and have them go full tilt. And that kind of simulates what it's like in the game. Okay? See, this was 6 was kind of our physical tailback in our rotation. He does a nice job kicking out the edge there. And, anytime we think we can get our physical tailback on a rolled up corner, and that was a backup guy for them who would come into the game after an injury, we always feel like that's going to be a good advantage for us. Oops. See if they zoom this one in a little bit here. Okay, I think this was actually 2 years ago. I think this is when these guys were juniors. And you can see that number 9, man, he just needs a crease, right? But even 21 is, I'll go back one. You can see a little bit better of a zoom here. 21 is probably our least physical blocker in the slot. And he does just enough. This tailback we had last year wasn't super physical as a blocker either, 31. But he does a nice job kicking out the corner. And then, get your playmaker the ball, right? And 9 can run. So we try to get him the ball. And again, look at 19 downfield. you know, cutting off the backside pursuit to give 9 a cutback for the touchdown instead of a, you know, a big first down. It's a big touchdown. So I go forward. I'll show you a couple other from a different game. This was Oak Hill. I think this was a preseason game for us this year. Okay, and again, watch the combo block here. One of them probably should have come off it, but that's a pretty good, you know, if you can get a big-time double team on the edge like that, you know, it's no different than getting one down inside. That's a great job, and we get a good, pretty good stock on the corner. He kind of loses it, but that was pretty good. Okay, this is out of empty. See, we get tight end trips up here with this is actually 2 tights. So we moved 88 on the line of scrimmage. I love this set. It's a great one down in the red zone. You go 2 tights, empty. That's a nice way to run some things. And you see 21, he cuts pretty well. So just formation-wise, there's another mix-up. If you got a couple of tight ends, it's a good way to use them. Overset again here, another way to mix up your formations. Tight end, split end, same side. If your tight end's not a great blocker, move your tackle over. Leave your tight end on the back, and they still have to account for him as a receiver. Okay, and you know, watch the 2 for 2 here. You know, 88 and 2 again at 35 is an all-conference defensive end, and you know, watch 88 vault off the double team, and then get to the flowing backer. Right, gets a little help from 58, and that's a good player. They actually threw a flag on that for a blindside block, I think. Yeah, you can see it again from this angle. You know, it's pretty good. Okay, so inside leverage. These guys are 2 for 2 in 34. It was one of our other tailbacks here. He's going to see that, you know, he and 2 worked out a call at the line of scrimmage where 2 told him, I got this on my own, because the defensive end's, you know, in a 7-eye inside, so he just goes directly for the rover. Okay, so you know, communication at the line of scrimmage for those guys is pretty important. This was last year's playoff game against Cape. We had a really good center 2 years ago who could really pull, so we used him a lot in the schemes. And you know, Cape was in the 40 a lot with head up twos. So we pulled all 3 quite a bit. This time the backside guard chose not to go, so we went play side, guard, and center. Okay, and watch the center out here. You know, he doesn't get much on that one, but you know, if you've got a center who can scoot, you certainly can adjust the scheme, and he's one hole closer to it. And again, playmaker with the ball, right? He fixes his helmet like 3 times on the way to the end zone, but he can really run. He's still undecided too. Hopefully, Coach Russell maybe gets him up to Norwich, maybe. Okay, and again, here's where, you know, the wing and the tight end kind of communicate. The tight end tells the wing, I got 77 on my own. He's inside leverage. I'm going to head down inside and pick off the backer. Okay, and you know, that's all the good coaching from Coach Bonavie and the running back drills right there. Yeah, this was this year over at Cape, talking about compressing the formation. Here's tight end trips, but we bring both the wings down to bunch it up. Okay, just to give them a different look, shorten the edge. You know, Cape did a pretty good job defensively against us stopping this stuff, but you know, we just do a good job getting a hat on a hat, front side. You know, 77 was a real good player for them, so we got a double team on him right here. And we can because we've compressed the formation. Okay, and then, you know, we get decent gain there. And that was Cape throwing a screen, I think. So here we go. Here we are again. And pretty much the same stuff. Let me see if there's anything else in this jet sweep folder, and then we'll try to get on some other plays. You know, here it is going weak side. You know, we've gone trips and we've compressed these guys a little bit and almost stacked him behind him. Move the tail back up in front. We get the solo tight end over here. You know, we're big on matchups too. They're putting 77 to the strength, so we're getting him to this side and running away from him because he's a good football player. And you can see, you know, against this movement by the 9 with him widening like that, we're definitely going to run it up inside and work that way. 9's a tough runner for a little kid. You know, 150, but he don't mind contact at all. Okay, show you a couple of these. This is against the odd front. Freiburg's really good in their 3-4. I'll show you a couple. Here's a nice job on the edge. Again, 88 here. We're running this to the open side now, not even running it to the tight end side. You know, we're trying to run away from big number 8 over here. You know, they just do a good job, bodies on bodies, get a pretty good gain there. And then I think here we get a chance. This is, again, formationally tight end wing with trips to the other side, bringing number 2 in motion. A lot for the defense to handle. Okay, 88 and 2 do a good job of staying on their blocks out here. 75, he's trying to read. Do I get up in there? He does a good job. And then 21 just kind of makes a good cut here, and he's out the door. This is a close end zone view, so we'll give you one of these. It's going to be jet up this way to the tight end wing. They're supposed to combo this, but, you know, again, 2 gives him the call. He says, I can handle this guy by myself. Wing does not do a great job blocking there, Cam. He should be right here on 32, but he passes him up to go to the next level, which he shouldn't do, but good, you know, jet's always a good 2-point play. And here it is again, going the other way, this time out of empty towards the tight end trips. Good job of getting in the alley and getting in the end zone. I told Danny White I wouldn't show too many Foxcroft clips, so I'll keep this one limited. But here it is, you know, towards the out of trips again. I take that back. That was tight end wing. 6 does a nice job getting out there. Get your playmaker the ball in space. So, all right. So I'm going to go to. I'm going to go to another folder now. See if I can do this. This is we'll get kind of all the runs here together. And then we'll do all the passes to finish up. All right, let's try that. See if that works. All right, that was easier than I thought. All right, so this is what we call jet counter. So this is going to be play where we're running jet sweep. Up top to the right, we're running our counter scheme back here to the left. So you're going to see the backside guard pulling this way. Again, you play some of these odd front teams. They're an even front here, but they switched around quite a bit in the state game. But you know, these teams who are going to have linebackers reading guards, it certainly puts those guys in a conflict. And our quarterback always has the ability. You know, this is one of those plays pre-snap that he's going to decide what he's doing, and he can communicate it to the line. He doesn't have to. Sometimes he likes to wait because he likes to see how they adjust to the motion, and we just run the play on both sides. And sometimes he comes up to the line and he tells the guys ahead of time, nope, we're doing this. That way the backside knows what they're going to do. So there's that. I'm just going to just go to the chat real quick and make sure that this has been coming out good. Appears as though nobody said anything, so looks like it's coming out all right. All right, so let me just dial this back for a minute. So again, jet to the right, Counter coming back this way. I think this is one he told him at the line of scrimmage, but that's what that play looks like. Okay, this is smash. So this is, you'll see him, he adjusts his motion a little bit. It looks like the quarterback was maybe changing the direction of this play at the line of scrimmage. You can see him move the tailback over. Okay, and when we run our smash concept, I said this before, they can communicate at the line of scrimmage whether or not the front side guard is going to go. So because MCI was in a lot of the tight front in the state game, you know, lots of times our tackles and guards felt like this was better to go just 2 for 2 here, and the slot can inside release for the backer, and then the H-back or the tailback can handle the end, and we got the backside guard to fold up inside. So, you know, lots of times if we're in empty, we'll tell them that both guards have to go, but if we're in, if we have a tailback or an H-back in the backfield, we give them the choice to adjust up front. So you can see as a kick out, he follows his guard up in the hole, and like I said, 21's a good runner. We like him. Wish we had him back. Okay, here's trips. Smash again. This is going with number 2 out of the trips. Okay, and actually, I think this actually wasn't smash. This one's misnamed. This is jet reach. So this is just a reach scheme, not pulling anybody. Everybody's just going to reach one man. It's just like outside zone. Okay, and you know, if the corner's making the tackle, we're good with it, right? Okay, here it is again. We're in trips again. We're going to bring number 2 in motion, bring number 3 in motion. Okay, and this is a chance you got a bigger slot who can run the ball. This is a good play for him. See the tight end and the tackle do a pretty good job in their 2 for 2 here. It's a great job by 2 on that scraping backer. We spend a lot of time on these combo blocks. You know, and it shows. Okay, and you get smash again right here. Okay, you're going to get number 3 from trips in motion. Awful job by the tailback here, Deshaun. You know, it doesn't take, he's not taking a good path to get to the end. He's on his outside shoulder. So the guard makes a decision along the way, 75 here, not to pull up inside, and just says, you know what, I'm going to take that guy. So good adjustment by Riley there. We have a trap drill that we do with our guards quite a bit, you know, to work on stuff like that. So good job by Coach Bach coaching those guys up. Here's jet counter. Okay, I know you guys can't see the names at the top of the screen, but the zoom is pretty good, so I'm going to leave it. But this is jet to the left and counter to the right. I think this was the 2-point play after we scored the go-ahead. I wish we had the touchdown for the state game didn't come out on this one. We scored right before this to put ourselves up. And then we fake jet pitch and come back. You know, 88, this was designed not to be a power pull, but 88 touched the end. So again, great adjustment by 75. He sees that he doesn't need to block the end, so he folds it up inside, peels on the backer, and that put us up 6 and gave us a little bit of breathing room, knowing that we would just have to stop the extra point. Here's jet counter again. Pitch mo for 21. Okay, so the quarterback can pitch this or he can give it. It's up to him. Okay, and he sees a lot over here, like, you know, pre-snap, he's looking and he sees all of this over the solo tight end. You know, and he's looking at this bubble right here to run counter with, and he makes the right choice. Right, you certainly can see the influence of jet sweep and all of these. And look at all those guys. There's not a lot of backside pursuit. Wish 88 had stayed on the block a little longer. Okay, this is one, we talked about this yesterday, where the quarterback sometimes will run Q-jet and just quick snap it and go. So, you know, we do this a lot. Like if we see teams are in a heavy blitz and they're trying to take away the inside gaps on a 3rd and short or a red zone play, then he'll just go. Sometimes he'll fake to the tailback just real quick, and sometimes he'll put the tailback in front. But that was a good one to buy us a touchdown right there on a 3rd and short. And he just kind of liked what he saw here. I don't know why he didn't send the tailback in front of him. But he just felt like he could get the edge there. Okay, here's this. I love this one. This is GT with jet. Okay, so this is going to be jet to the left with guard guard tackle counter to the right. Okay, and this is a great play. This is probably one of the plays that we ran the best all year. They're going to run a counter scheme, so they're going to leave the edge player unblocked. Guard's going to kick him out, backside tackle up in the hole. 74 does a pretty decent job. Doesn't really have anybody to block. He was just a sophomore, so he wasn't our best puller, but pretty good job. I don't know what 88's doing here. He's a little bit of a freelancer. He should have blocked the Rover 16, but decides to look inside for some reason. But then he kind of peels back and gets it. And he and 9 are twins, so one scoots pretty good too. Great job. Watch the combo block here with the guard and tackle. Boom, boom. Great job by the tackle. He's sophomore too. Pretty good player. But great job there. So Jet GT, awesome play. Let you look at it from behind here. See, they were trying to figure out who was going in motion there. Little pre-snap communication. Wyatt's got on number 8. He had his jersey ripped that game. Yeah, but there's a good look at it from behind. Okay, here it is again. I think this was the very next play. I just think we went and ran it again. It's jet to the right. It's solo tight end up here, so the corner's down, so he chooses GT instead. That was an easy one. Okay, again, jet to the right to the solo tight end. GT coming back this way. That's a lot for the defense to handle. You can see it again right here. Boom, boom. Okay, here it is again. Okay, this is they submarined us. So you watch. We actually work on this because this isn't the first time that we've seen this. Where our linemen, if they are getting submarined, they'll just take their hands and kind of drive them down in the dirt. So watch these guys up front. They just push them down in, and you can lay on them as long as you put your hands out. So you see some of our guys will actually spread their hands out and just lay on top of the guy. It's a great, you see it on the end zone view too here. Great job by 58. He's a junior, really good player. Because the DN plays that fairly well. Gets low, inside shoulder. That's an all-conference guy at DN there. Does a pretty good job on him. Here's smash again. Coming out of empty, so both guards should go. We'll see what happens. But running it through the trip side to the open side. See 60 does a nice job here. Play side guard keeping his hat on the inside. 75 does a good job of getting up inside. That one's always designed to be a cut up unless the guard logs the end. But this is what I mean by, don't always give the defensive end the same look. Like sometimes he's getting doubled. Sometimes he's unblocked and we're reading him. Sometimes he's unblocked and the play side guard's in his face. Sometimes it's the backside guard. Sometimes it's the H-back. We like to give those guys lots of looks and lots to worry about so that during their week they have a lot to practice. Okay, and here's the jet pitch. We use a reach scheme when we do this. So you see up front, everybody's just reaching. Sometimes you got to outrun some guys. And then just kind of take what you can get. Okay, here's jet read. Whoops. So in this one, we're going to go to the open side with this. Tailback. Lots of times he'll move up when we do this play. So the back can really cook it. Watch this 2 for 2 with these guys. It's fantastic. We're going to read this end right here. And if he comes up the field, quarterback's going to keep. If he sits on the line of scrimmage and he can only touch the guy with one arm, then we're going to give it. Okay, so there goes 21. Not a great mesh. Doesn't really have it in his gut. So that's something we work on quite a bit. They did a poor job there. It's a preseason game. Okay. And then, like I said, 5's pretty good. He's pretty good in the open field. So try to get him in space as much as we can. Here's the Jet GT again. This is one where he actually decides to give it. Probably should have kept it, to be honest. See on the end zone view. But imagine if you're the defense and you know it's jet this way, but it's GT counter back this way. Should have kept because you can see they're in a 4-2-5, and they've got 4 across in the secondary, and the rover is here. So he really should have called this the other way. But you know, early in the game, we hadn't really had a chance yet to feel out what they were going to do, and it's still pretty good game for us. Okay, going to be the same thing here. It's jet to the left. He decides to keep this one, and you can see on the end zone view, this is probably another one where, oh, this is a good decision. They're in the 4-2-5, and here's the rover right here. You can see he's kind of decided already and made up his mind, and then the free safety moves kind of late. But then as the motion goes, and this is the advantage of letting him just do it when the play starts, as the motion goes, he sees that safety running with the jet motion guy. So he knows enough to keep it, and he probably should have cut it up inside. But at the same time, you know, we give him a little bit of freedom to do what he wants because he's pretty good in the open field. So here it is again, same idea. It's jet one way, GT the other way. Great job by 9 to keep his feet, get a first down. Okay, as you can see it on the end zone view, he's running jet to the left. The tail, the slot, and the split end are all blocking jet. Tailback could have got up in there a little bit better, and he maybe could have cut it up. But the free safety's making the play. Okay, so anytime that happens, we feel okay about it. Here's another jet pitch. Again, probably should have play action a little bit more when we saw the free safety running the alley like that, right? Bad spot there, too. Didn't give us the first down. But when you see a safety running the alley like this, you know, when you get that, that's when they're primed for play action, right? So, you know, we should have come back with a call pretty quickly to try to throw something in the seam or something off play action when we could get it. Okay, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Here's quarterback counter off jet. So we go trips, we bring this guy in motion. We leave the edge for the pulling guard, backside guard. This is just a call. It's not any sort of read or anything. Okay, and you know, obviously, this is why you block on the backside. These guys know the play's going away from him. They do a good job there. Stay on their double. All right, and then look at 9 down the field, man. Love that, right? And that's the guy who normally gets the ball all the time on jet sweep. And he's blocking downfield for 5. So, you know, I cannot stress perimeter blocking enough. It's probably the most important part, other than the inline blocking of the spread offense. Try to go about 10 more minutes here. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Here's, give you, here's a jet reach where we just reach everything up front. Okay, going out of empty, 2 tights. Going up top here, we kind of missed the 2 for 2, 34. Should have picked up the backer, right? They're in the 2 for 2. He stays on the double team on the end. You know, 9 does a good job making that guy miss and getting up in there. Okay, Q counter again off jet. Fake it, pull it. Backside guard kicks the end. That's probably been a staple for us going all the way back to 14, 15 years ago. Here's jet pitch where you fake the inside zone. Okay, so again, I think on this one, he must have told him at the line of scrimmage because they're just all reaching. Okay, here's another jet pitch here. Just a reach scheme up front. Not a very good job on the fake on the inside zone. Like to see a little better job there. He bounce ahead a little bit. Said a couple more, then we'll get a few passes in. Try to wrap this thing up in about 10. Smash scheme again. See, he adjusts his motion a little bit. Instead of the toes of the quarterback, he kind of aims for the heels and then bends it up a little. It's our playoff game against Freeport. See 21, man. He can run. Great return guy, too. Okay, here's the jet pitch again with the counter scheme. So that one didn't go so well. But it's an incomplete pass. Hopefully they keep that in the rule book where it is. And that's one of the benefits. Here's the jet spy again, where we're going to read it. 9's coming in motion. We're reading the edge player here. Quarterback's deciding. Much better mesh here. See why it does a good job of sticking with it. The end, 6 blocks the wrong guy. He should be leaving that guy alone. He was trying to work with 2, but he really should have just been outside release up to the next level. It confuses the quarterback a little bit, but you can see the influence of the jet motion. Their defense really goes that way, and we always get a lot of great cutbacks out of this play if teams don't stay real disciplined on the weak side. And here it is. See it from the back. Just watch the defense pursue front side, and we always tell him, if you see the cutback lane, take it. And he does a good job of making a guy miss there. Luckily, we get him back for 1 more year, so that'll be good. Jet pitch GT again. Yeah, you can see he must have called that one ahead of time because the tailback went and lead blocked. Either that or the tailback didn't know what he was doing, which is possible with Deshaun. Okay, here's jet GT again. Running jet to the left, running GT to the right. He makes a keep decision. Okay, which was a good one. Good gain there. It's Foxcroft. Here's another one, same thing. It's going to be jet to the left, GT to the right. He decides to give it on this one. Probably should have kept it again. Normally when he misses, it's that he should have given it instead of kept, the other way around. So here's another one here. Same deal. So you guys can see that was a pretty big play for us this year. Something we ran quite a bit. Give you another jet read right here. Okay, reading the edge. Guy comes flying up the field. The quarterback keeps it. I saw TA run this a bunch this year. They're great at throwing the play action, the post route off from it too. Okay, here's another jet read right here. We're going to read the edge this way. This guy right here comes up the field. You see 31 was really good, or 21 really good at carrying out the fake. We always just tell him, keep running like you got the ball. Guy tackles him. And get up in. We got a great wall of blockers there. We pulled the, I think we pulled the backside guard up inside. And 5 makes a good cut. And that was 2 years ago. Good score for us in the playoff game. Okay, if you know the jet read right here, going to read the edge player right here. It's 2 years ago against Nokomis, the year they won states. Okay, again, he's up the field. We pull it. And again, you see, we'll watch this from the end zone view, but watch the influence of the jet on the defense and the quarterback on this play. Very often we'll get cutbacks where he can cut the ball back and use that flow against them. So it's jammed up front side. He just keeps working to the backside. A little too much shake and bake on the outside. Rather see him keep the ball a little more secure. Here's another jet counter. Jet sweep up top. Counter coming back this way. Nice job. Watch 88 on this one in the slot. Does a nice job. Boom. 74 the tackle. You know, they're working together. Just like that. It's pretty good. I want to get... yeah, I didn't get the ghost play up here. Let me get that up for you. I'll mix those in with some of the passes. This will be our last segment for today. If I can figure this out, clear the filters, go back and filter. Offensive plays in the list. We'll go with Batman, Gator, Ghost, Denver, RPO, another Gator, get screen in there. We'll kind of roll through A few of these. All right. Let's see if this works. All right, so this is the ghost play. This is a GH counter for the quarterback. You know, if you watch this guy, just watch how the jet mo influences. Look at the backers going. Easy cutoff blocks. 67 gets his head down and misses it on 34 there. You can see that on the we're faking jet on the front side. Guard hits the edge. H-back's up in the hole. And again, that was a play we scored on in States to kind of put us ahead. This was a good play for us in this game. Here it is again. Out of trips. 2 for 2 versus the tight front. The tackle, this is a 4-eye, so he takes it on his own. The slot's just going to kind of put his hands on the tackle, work his way down for the backer. You can see, look at them guys downfield on that backer. They do a nice job there. Okay, one more time with the ghost play. Going to bring number 2 from trips in motion. Pull it back, get a kick out, the H-back up in there. 19 does a good job on the edge. Puts it straight down in a position to score. That was the one that didn't come out. Okay, so this is our Batman concept. Because we don't have a wing here, the tailback is going to run the wheel instead of the wing. But we're going to, you know, we knew we got him in cover 0. There's solo coverage here on the tight end. He's outside leverage. He's up near the line of scrimmage. We've been killing him on jet and smash all game. And put it in and just run the tight end down the seam. And I'll let you look at it from the end zone view as well. You can see, you know, Wyatt knows the corner's not even in the picture here. There's really nobody to get the seam. 2 does a pretty good job there. Definitely could have gone and played somewhere, but opted for CM for hoops. He's a good hoop player too. Okay, here's our thunder scheme where we're going corner out. Faking jet, faking inside zone. Okay, and then he always has the throwback option on the back, right? So that jet motion guy, if he doesn't have a guy to block, he just keeps working out. Nobody for him. We get that. Try to wrap this up in like 4 minutes. I'll give you as many of these passes as we can. Here's our joker. Okay, gonna fake jet, get a solo receiver out here. We're running a drag concept with the tight end from the back. I'll give it a look from behind. But number 2 is the backside. He's going to run a drag. 21 is going to run a post. You can watch the influence of the free safety, who's really the guy that could take away the drag. You can see the tight end. The tight end runs right by him. Good play by the Q to throw it there in traffic. Here's the Batman again. Double wing for you guys here. Right? 2 tight ends, 2 wings. We wanted to get an extra pass pro in there. Great throw. That's wheel seam. Let you see it from the back. You can see he really could have thrown either one on this one. Okay, you're going to get number 9 is going to run the wheel route. Number 2 right up in the seam. And double wings for Coach Marston. Okay. Again, you guys work one-on-ones all the time. If you're a spread offense team, got to be able to win one-on-one when you get cover 0, and we did. This was actually our first play of the year. I just put this in here to, you know, we work a lot on making sure, you know, the scramble thing is done. Bad snap, he runs back, gets it, moves around a little bit. 19 makes himself available. It's behind the line of scrimmage, so we don't get called for downfield. And then he's able to scoot all the way to the end zone. So sometimes you got to, doesn't matter what you draw up, you got to have some playmakers out there. Okay, so here's our joker scheme again. We're going to bring jet motion away. Single receiver on a choice route. You can see he's got a really soft corner, so my guess is he's going to run a stick. Stick for us is a 10 and out. Good timing on it. We nail it, and we can tag any sort of backside concept back here with these guys. You know, we can drive it, we can drag it, we can Dallas it and double post it, whatever we want. Here it is again, same concept. Single receiver. And you can see he didn't he thought the corner played it pretty well in the front. Quarterback does a good job. You watch him redirect his feet and his eyes to the middle. We went Dallas on the back. Free safety was filling the alley a lot on jet sweep, so we thought we had him on a play action. And we're able to hit 88 for a big one down the back. Here's a screen. Oh, that's Kate. Okay, this was an RPO. Lots of times if we have solo tight end left on the back, we'll just run him down the seam, and the quarterback has to throw it. Sometimes they'll give the lineman a call because he knows he's going to throw it. So they'll pass block. Looks like they were all reach blocking here. So this was just a straight RPO. Okay, and he's just reading the backside coverage on the tight end. This is one he actually came back to the sideline and said, Dad, we got this one. This corner is taking his eyes off the tight end when I'm looking at him. And we just didn't quite make the throw and catch. Okay, here's our Foxy RPO. We're going to run fade out on the back. So the outside guy's got a fade. 88's running it out. Probably should have thrown the fade. Okay, but that was pretty good. Whoops, let me go back. Here's the zipper concept I was talking about. This is just a backside play action tag of under with a dig. Okay, I think we tagged this was a Batman up front, wheel seam, and then we went under dig on the back. And if you look at the under, he should have thrown the under. Seam was open all week in practice, though, so sometimes that happens. Okay, here's Denver. Denver for us is a 4-vert concept. So, we're going to put a guy in motion, and actually this was Joker, not Denver. So he's got choice up here, and then we had a backside drag concept called. Okay, good job in scramble drill of rerouting, and just didn't quite finish it off. Scramble drill is important. Okay, here's another one. We don't complete this one, but this was an audible where he just checked to it at the line of scrimmage and ran the tight end down the seam. So, having the ability to teach your quarterback to do those things, and, you got to let him do it in practice. Here's Joker again up top. He's going to run the stick route. Get to the last couple of plays here, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Okay, here's Joker. This is also a good play down near the goal line, because you can just, they can just call the route at the line of scrimmage. He went with a little bit more of a shallow out there. Here's the slipper screen. Okay, they don't really do a good job of faking anything, but I think this was a 2-minute drill at the end of the half. So they kind of knew we were going to pass, but you could fake the jet pitch, and then the tailback just can work out. I don't know why he didn't run out here, where there was all this green grass and all these blockers, but Al's pretty north-south guy. Okay, here's Joker again. This is Herman in game 1. 5 minutes, Lori? Perfect. Sorry, man. 5 minutes. They got to come fix this pipe. Okay, so there's the 10 and out right there. Okay, you can see this is a great route by 19. Again, your one-on-ones, so important in practice to work those. Tailback, I don't think was real great in pass pro here. I didn't have much to do, I guess, but great route by 19 up top. Okay, and this one, sometimes we tag it with a wheel up here. So he's going to run what we call a stick wheel. I'll show it to you from the end zone view so you can see it. Hopefully you can see it. It's a 10 and out, and then he wheels it. You need a little more time on here. I think this is one where the pass pro wasn't real great. Wyatt's got to make a throw with that linebacker runs right by the tailback. He almost loses an ACL. But if the tailback does a better job in the pass pro there, that's a touchdown. Good job by 19 coming back to the ball, though. Okay, Joker again. And again, he's just reading. We give a lot of choice. They can do whatever they want up top, and we just always tag it on the backside. You'll see sometimes he'll change the backside tags. Again, it all depends on what your quarterback can handle. But as a 2-year starter and about to be a 3, we feel like he can handle quite a bit. So. Okay, here's another Thunder. This is a good one down by the goal line. 2 tights with tight end trips. We bring this guy in jet pitch mo. Again, our fate to the tailback on the inside zone is terrible. But you can see we do a nice job of opening up 88 on that backside drag. So this is one where, you know, the front side was pretty well covered, you know, because I don't think they really run with the motion. You know, 21 tried to, but you can see 8 does a good job of robbing the first route, and he comes right back off it, makes a good throw to the backside route. Okay, here was one. I think this was a penalty on a 2-point play. And he gets, this is what I talked about adjusting the route. He's got a hard corner here, up in his face, a cover 2 or a man 2 type of look. So he's going to change, or he's going to make his route the corner route. And does a nice job. Coach Lipp does a good job in the summer at Maine Elite, coaching up our wideouts. And then we pick up where he leaves off. But you can see this is a great inside stem by 19. Boom, leans in, gets out of the break, good ball. Makes me look like I know what I'm doing. Here's the gator play. This is if, you know, when you don't want to run your quarterback as much, you can run the shovel. So 2 is going to be the shovel back off this, or what we call the gator back. We're leaving the front side edge unblocked. So if he's up the field, we're going to pull it and pitch underneath it. Give it to you. I think on this one we do pull the backside guard, maybe. You know, 74 kind of screws this play up. You know, if a guy gets by you, never chase him, and especially on this play, you know, we're going to shovel this, so he should have left him and headed up the field. Looked inside for flow. This was a pretty good look at Ghost. I'll give you this one. Last couple of clips right here. Went a little over today, but film sessions are always good. We don't get a chance to do this now on this quarantine, so good chance to do some stuff. We'll bring him in motion, leave the edge, guard kicks out, H is up the hole. You can see it. Now 75, you know, this is our trap drill, our guards. He doesn't think he needs to block this end because he's so far up the field. So he's making the choice on the way, like, this dude's never going to make the play. I'm just going to wheel it up inside. And it really is what springs the touchdown because we don't do a great job of staying on that block there. Cam gets his head way too far over his toes. Okay, misses that. But great stock there by 19. That's how we opened up. I think that was the first offensive play in our playoff game. Here's the slipper. Al's going to be mad at me for showing this one. This is slip screen off jet. Jet motion. I think it's pitch mo. Nope, he goes regular. Okay, and then we bring the slipper screen out. And that's too bad he dropped that one because that one, he'd probably still be running. Okay, here's a look at Joker wheel up top. Inside leverage by the corner. Sets it up pretty good. Beats him there. Again, you need some extra time on that one. He hung it up way too much. Great catch by 19, though. Okay, here's that gator play again. 2 is going to be the shovel back. We're going to leave this guy unblocked. Shovel underneath him. So again, you want to run the read, but you don't want to run your quarterback as much. That's a great way to do that. This Joker again. O'Shaw, like, oh no, he won't like that one. He missed the one-hand grab. Let me give you one more. Something maybe we haven't seen yet. I think that gets us all the way back to the beginning, fellas. So that's it. I'm gonna call this one. Let them fix that heating pipe. Thanks for watching today. We'll be back tomorrow with another session at noon. I'll tweet it out at Coach Hath 19 on what we're going to talk about, and then next week we'll have some guests in here. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it.